is Naz. I want to talk about MMA news today. I do a quick Google search, scroll on Instagram, go on Twitter, and it's ever evolving. This is what keeps me coming back to this amazing sport. The fighting's amazing, everything's great. But the MMA news and just hearing about what's going on in the sport, it's just so addictive, and I love talking about it. Now, I wanted to start off with what the heck's going on with Conor McGregor. Just to rewind a little bit. We find out Conor McGregor says, "I agree." We all scratch our heads thinking, what's going on? We see that a fighter, Hamza, tweets out that he wants to fight a couple fighters. Nate Diaz was one of the fighters that he tweeted about. He tweeted at Conor McGregor as well. Now, we all think that it's Conor wanting to fight Hamza. Now, this guy is no joke. He's on a tear right now. People are calling him mini Khabib, but this guy is not mini. He's a lot bigger than Khabib. And it just seems like he's even more aggressive than Khabib, which is incredible to say because Khabib is an aggressive guy. Now, Ariel Helwani comes out, says that he talked to Conor McGregor, that it wasn't for Hamza. We didn't know who it was for. Now, Conor McGregor tweets out, "I agree," in a different language. We figure out that that is the native language of Filipino people. Now, we put two and two together. What's going on here? We also know that Conor McGregor's sports agent, which is Paradigm, got one of the biggest name fighters who, I don't know if you're living under a rock, is Manny Pacquiao. Now, we put these together. What does that mean? Everybody's saying that now Conor McGregor wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. What happens when Conor McGregor goes against Manny Pacquiao? It's not going to be the same fight that he had with Floyd Mayweather. I'll tell you that. Manny Pacquiao is a dangerous man, but Conor McGregor is also dangerous as well. That would be, bombs will be flying in that fight. Those are two aggressive guys that will really come after each other. But is this the fight that we really want to see? Conor McGregor laying out his 2020 season, and it came to a screeching halt because of COVID. But it just, this Manny Pacquiao fight, even though if it did happen, I would be watching, I would pay, I would be talking to everybody about it and analyzing it. I don't think it's the fight that I want to see. I want to see Conor McGregor do what he does best. And what Conor McGregor does best is in the octagon in a UFC fight. He's in one of the deepest divisions in the UFC when it comes to the 155-pound division. I think it's honestly the deepest. And for him to hold up that train, he's ranked very high. I think he's like four, number 4 up there. He has so many options on people he could fight in the UFC. I think what's really going on here is that since there's no live gate anymore, the UFC doesn't want Conor McGregor out there because he won't generate as much money as he would if there was a live gate. But in my opinion, who knows when all of this is going to stop? Who knows when we're all going to get back to somewhat normal life? It's going to be a long time. You know, it started in March. We're now in August. And people, no matter what the government says, no matter what anybody says, nobody's going to be comfortable being in a packed arena like this. Especially for the craziness that happens for a Conor McGregor fight. Now, there will be some outliers that will come and fly and whatever. But I say, why not Conor just fight now? He's got the Tony option right in front of him. We've always wanted to see that fight, Tony Ferguson versus Conor McGregor. There's a big rivalry. Poirier comes to mind as well. I'd love to see Poirier and Conor 2.0. Chael Sonnen says it all the time, is that Conor McGregor's career will age like a fine wine. What he means by that is when he fought Max, when he fought Poirier, when he fought all these guys, those guys were super young. They're not the same guy anymore. Both of them. So I'd love to see that fight again. They're saying that Max should fight Volkanovski again, but imagine a Conor McGregor Max Holloway fight. Oh my God. That'd be amazing. Nobody's talking about that. I agree. I think we need to see a Volkanovski fight again, but man, if Conor McGregor Max Holloway is on the table, I would take that in a heartbeat, to be honest with you. Now, speaking of Conor McGregor, Khabib's coach, Javier Mendez, was talking about how much of a challenge he was for Khabib. They asked him who Khabib's biggest challenge is. Now, you see Khabib now just rolling through people. And the one guy that won a round is the man that says that he was hungover and had a bum leg. Conor McGregor, who won that fight. Now, would I want to see that be the last fight in Conor McGregor in Khabib Nurmagomedov's career? Now, just to back up here, Khabib is going to be fighting Justin Gaethje, as we all know. But Khabib says that I want to be 30-0 and I want to retire because that was my father's dream. After the unfortunate events of Khabib Nurmagomedov's father passing away, it seems like it's lit a fire, honestly, because Dana White himself said that Khabib is not fighting anytime soon. We're thinking about next year maybe. But then maybe a couple days later, they come up with the Khabib and Justin Gaethje fight. They made the announcement. Now I know that that's probably been in the work for a very long time, but who knows? Maybe Conor McGregor could sit out a little bit longer, and we could see Khabib Conor too. But that just doesn't. I don't know if that jives with me. I don't know if that works for me, because I want to see Conor fight someone else before he fights for a belt again. Like I said before, I mentioned some names, so I'd love to see that. But what Dana White was also asked was, what do you think about Khabib versus GSP? Because Khabib has brought up GSP numerous times in the past. But now he brought him up again as his last fight. GSP, a man that fought in a couple weight divisions higher than 155. Could be the first triple champ in MMA history if he gets to fight with Khabib. Now, would I want to see it? I think I really want to see it, to be honest with you. I just want to see what the human body is capable. And the one person that's like Captain America, even though he's a proud Canadian, is GSP. If anybody could show us what you can do without obviously drugs or anything like that, is GSP. And he's still looking in great shape. He's still training all the time. You can see that he does his water exercises. But the true test, if GSP is still in phenomenal shape, which he looks like he is, but who knows? You can look in great shape, but will you be able to react in the ring? I think I want to see that fight. I think that's the next. I got to see the fight. This is one of the last times that we can see GSP. After this, like, I'm sorry to say, but it's just not possible. The GSP even said it himself. He said that I knew I was retired. He tweeted out, I knew I was retired. But then Khabib called me out. But that got the gears rolling, ticking, if you will. I would really love to see that fight. And it would just show us who's the greatest of all time. I mean, if GSP wins that, comes back, I believe it's been a 2-year hiatus maybe, and beats Khabib, oh my God. We got the greatest of all time. I already believe that GSP is the greatest of all time. But for him to come back, fight Khabib, and meet, oh my God, just thinking of it would be amazing. So I'd love to see where that would move forward with. Now, before we even get to GSP, Khabib's coach, Javier Mendez, also said in the same interview that due to COVID-19 concerns, Khabib is not coming to California. Which, you know, that's a big deal. You can even see it in the way that DC is preparing. He's got the old band back together. It's weird to see Khabib not there. Now, I know that the team out there in Dagestan is a professional team. They'll be able to take care. But this just is just one thing that I can, you know, I like to see where the chips stack. And the chips are stacking more on Justin Gaethje's side now. You're telling me that you're going to do world title fight training over Zoom. Oh my God. It might just be a recipe for disaster, to be honest with you. So that's just another chip on the side of Justin Gaethje. That fight is going to be amazing. So exciting what the UFC is doing in a time like this, being one of the only sports to do some, being the first sport to come back, the first major sport. Aside from that, on the August 22nd card, we got Pedro Munhoz confirmed to fight Frankie Edgar, which we've been waiting for Frankie Edgar to come back for a long time. And underneath that is Yoel Romero versus Uriah Hall, serving as a co-main event. Wow. Yoel Romero and Frankie Edgar on the same card. Amazing. I think this is a great debut for Frankie Edgar in this new division for him. Pedro Munhoz is going to show us where he's at. It's going to show us what kind of strengths he's gained from coming from a higher weight division coming to this one. Either he has some sort of speed advantage. He might be a little bit more. He might be able to take more shots. Who knows? But this might be something that reignites Frankie Edgar. Reignites his career. I just think that the sport's even better with a great person like Frankie Edgar and Pedro Munhoz. Oh my God, like he's amazing as well. He's the man that never grows. He's always there to fight. He's always there to fight. He'll scrap anywhere. He's the type of person that will scrap anywhere. And just my last topic that I wanted to touch on was this Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson fight. Now, the fight is going to be amazing. Michael Chandler always comes to fight. Ben Henderson always comes to fight. But Michael Chandler was the face of Bellator at one time. Benson Henderson was supposed to be the face of Bellator. He went through a bumpy road. Michael Chandler is going through, a somewhat bumpy road. But why I really wanted to talk about this was the implications that it has. Michael Chandler has the opportunity to leave Bellator on a win. This is his last fight on his contract with Bellator. Could you imagine Michael Chandler in the UFC? What kind of amazing matchups he'll have? Michael Chandler is the way that you just look on Instagram, the way the man works out, he's a savage. The one famous fight that he had where one of his legs went numb and he was still fighting. His leg was just stiff and he's still there to scrap. Imagine that in the UFC. Imagine the possibilities. I would love to see Michael Chandler come to the UFC. I want to see where he's at. I really believe, and this is just an amazing equivalent because they fought, is with Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez left Bellator, came to the UFC, became a champion. A lot of people think that Eddie Alvarez is some sort of joke because he got beat by Conor McGregor. No, he was an amazing fighter. Eddie Alvarez was amazing. He won a belt. You don't win a belt without doing something spectacular. You just don't get it from nothing. You have to do something, and then that's what Eddie Alvarez did. And why I keep on bringing him up is because that's the opportunity I see from Michael Chandler. he's one of the best of all time, just in MMA in general. Currently. So I see an amazing opportunity there. It's just so interesting. MMA is so interesting right now. The sport is just booming. I bet you we're getting a lot of new fans and a lot of new people just watching, and because there's nothing else on. And I love talking about this stuff. And I love talking to you guys about this. It's always great to just discuss and unwrap all the layers of MMA. That, because that's what it is at the end of the day. There's so many layers. Like, look at the first topic that I was talking about, the Conor McGregor, who he's gonna fight next. Just figuring out who this man's gonna fight next in this chess match that we call MMA. So I love talking about it. I like talking to you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.